because there are many things which she learned to follow as a child by learning from Prahlada, who was a great devotee child himself and set this example. So we're going to learn about Prahlada and how to become a devotee from Prahlada. So very excited to hear from Brinda today. Okay, Brinda, thank you. It's all your turn now.
And tell that the presentation will be screen.
Hare Krishna. I'm going to share my screen 1 second.
Loudly, Brinda.
Okay. Okay, let's begin. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate girim yatkripātamaham vande Shri Gurun Dīnataranam Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So today I'm going to be talking about Prahlad Maharaj's pastimes. I thank you all for giving me this chance to speak. For this presentation, I have referred to the book Srimad Bhagavatam written by Srila Prabhupada. So first we'll be discussing about how Jay and Vijay got cursed by the four Kumaras, introduction to the various births of Jay and Vijaya, killing of Hiranyaksha by Lord Varaha and penance by Hiranyakashipu, auspicious birth of Prahlad Maharaj and his childhood, Prahlad Maharaj during his childhood schooling, conversation between Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj, various methods used to kill Prahlad Maharaj, final conversation between Hiranyakashipu and his son Prahlad Maharaj, appearance of Narasimhadev and killing of Hiranyakashipu, and finally the coronation of Prahlad Maharaj. So at the beginning of creation, Lord Brahma, he created the world, and along with when he created the world, he created the four Kumaras, and their names was Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, and Sanat Kumar. They were Brahmins, so they didn't have any negative qualities, like they weren't proud, they didn't have anger, attachment, or lust. And Lord Brahma created these four Kumaras because he wanted them to help him in the process of creation. But the Kumaras, they were very attached to Vasudeva and they wanted liberation. So they didn't agree to their father, and instead they requested him to let them remain 5-year-olds forever. So These four Kumaras, sometimes they would travel throughout the material and spiritual skies without any reason. Once they were able to enter the spiritual sky because they didn't have any material desires. In the spiritual sky, there are spiritual planets known as Vaikunthas. Like living there, there are people that have bodies similar to Lord Vishnu, and they all engage in devotional service to the Lord. And so these great sages, when they reached this Vaikuntha planet, they felt very happy.
Speak little louder, they're saying. Speak little louder.
They they had, when they went to Vaikuntha, they had a desire to meet Lord Vishnu, so they went to his abode, and they passed through 6 gates. When they were going to go to through the final gate, the two doormen of Lord Vishnu, Jaya and Vijaya, stopped them. And when the four Kumaras were stopped, their eyes suddenly got red and they became angry. So they cursed Jaya and Vijaya that they would have to be born on the material earth. So both Jay and Vijaya, they were very scared because they got this curse, but they knew that they couldn't like take it back. So they kindly prayed to the Kumaras and they asked them to not let them forget the Lord even when they go to the material world. And at that moment, Lord Vishnu appeared and started asking forgiveness from the Kumaras. And later he told Jay and Vijaya not to worry. Now people may question why did the why did the Lord not take away the curse? Because when he is very powerful, the Lord could have taken the curse back given by the Kumaras, but he didn't do so. There are only two reasons for this. One, the Brahmanas are the highest and most loved by the Lord, and the four Kumaras were Brahmanas. So, in order to keep their words true, the Lord didn't take the curse back. And secondly, one time Lord Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, she had left Vaikunta and later returned. And when she returned, Jaya and Vijaya stopped her at the gate because Lord Vishnu was sleeping. This made Lakshmi Devi very angry, and so the Lord wanted to send them to the material world. And because of his desire, the four Kumaras got angry, and but if not, they had very good qualities of Brahmana. Also in the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the Lord appears just to give protection to the devotees and to kill the non-devotees. These non-devotees are only found in the material world and not in the spiritual world. So if the Lord wants to fight, he has to come to this world, but another question will come. Who will fight the Supreme Lord? The Lord's pastimes is always performed with his associates and not with others. So he has to find some devotee in the spiritual world that will play the part of his enemy. So what do you take home from this? One should never get angry. One should control the mind and senses. Think about the words you're going to say to others before you say it. Never take decisions when your mind is agitated. So we're going to talk about the births of Jay and Vijaya now. So in the first birth, as Jay and Vijaya, they were born as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, and they took birth in Satya Yuga. They were born as twins to Diti and Kashyapa Muni, and Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, they had demoniac qualities. Hiranyaksha was killed by Lord Vishnu's avatar as Lord Varahadev, and Hiranyakashipu was killed by the half lion and half human avatar called Narsimha avatar. We'll discuss about this later because this is today's topic. And in the second birth, Jay and Vijaya were born as Ravana and Kumbhakarna. This birth happened in Treta Yuga. They were born to Vishrava Muni and Kaikeshi. They were also very demoniac in nature. I am making the story as short as possible. Lord Rama's wife, Mother Sita, got abducted by Ravana. So Lord Rama, with the help of his brother Lakshmana and the an army of monkeys, they built a bridge to Lanka. Hanuman was the dearest servant of Lord Rama, and he helped him find Mother Sita. Lakshmana and Rama, they both killed Ravana and Kumbhakarna, and at the end, Rama got his wife Sita back to Ayodhya and he became king. So the last birth that Jay and Vijaya took was in Dwapar Yuga. They were born as Shishupala and Dantavakra. They were not born as brothers in this life, but so Shishupala wanted to marry Rukmini, but she was kidnapped by Krishna because she wanted to marry Krishna instead of Shishupala. So Shishupala, he got very angry on Krishna and started to consider him his enemy. In the Rajasurya Yagna one time that Yudhishthir Maharaj was conducting, Shishupala insulted Krishna in front of others. Krishna killed him with his Sudarshan Chakra and liberated him. So later when Krishna killed Dantavakra took a vow to take revenge of his friend Shalva's death. And acting out of friendship for Shishupala, Shalva and Pundaraka, Poundraka, who had been killed, Dantavakra, he fought with Krishna. When Krishna hit Dantavakra with his club, Dantavakra he vomited blood and fell lifeless to the ground. The light from Dantavakra's body that came out then entered Krishna as it looked exactly like when Shishupala was killed. So we'll come back to Prahlad Maharaj pastime. Killing of Hiranyaksha. Hiranyaksha was a greedy exploiter of gold. He exploited so much gold from the earth that the earth got imbalanced and it went out of orbit and it fell in the Garbhodaka ocean. Lord Brahma, who is the creator of the entire universe and the earth, was thinking, how should I save this earth that has fallen into the water? So at this time, a small boar came out of his nostrils, and it was the avatar of Lord Vishnu as Lord Varahadev. Lord Vishnu, when he came out, he started searching for Mother Earth in the ocean. In the meantime, when Hiranyaksha saw Lord Varahadev, he challenged him to fight. But first, Vishnu, he didn't accept fighting. He went, took the earth, and then put it back into orbit first. And then he came back and killed Hiranyaksha because he was very demoniac and he liberated him. So we'll read penance by Hiranyakashipu. When Hiranyakashipu heard of his brother's death, he got very angry. He promised to kill Vishnu and treated him as his enemy. He cried out, I will defeat the gods and conquer the entire universe. I will destroy Vishnu by slicing his head from his body. So Hiranyakashipu, he decided to become immortal. He decided to do some penance and to be able he decided to do penance to able to achieve this. He went to Mandachala mountain and did lot of austerities. He stood on tiptoe, raising his arms above his head and fixing his eyes on the top of the sky. On top of the sky. For several years he did not eat, drink, or sleep. After many, many years of severe austerity, Brahma came before Hiranyakashipu and he asked him what he wanted. When Hiranyakashipu asked for immortality, Brahma said, I cannot grant you this because Brahma himself is not immortal, so he cannot grant other beings immortality. So Hiranyakashipu, he is very intelligent and he said, in that case, please grant me that I should not die by any of the entities that I have created. Not in date, I should not die inside the house or outside the house. Not in daytime or night. Not on the ground or in the sky. Not by any weapon or human being or any animal. Not by any demigod or demon. So Brahma, he grants Hiranyakashipu's wish and getting special powers. Hiranyakashipu asks all the devotees of Vishnu to worship him instead of Vishnu. Anybody who didn't obey him, he would kill them, and he captured the whole world and made everyone do what he wanted. So what you have to take home from this is austerities performed for selfish motive will never be successful. Have faith in the Lord and his protection. Use power and position for righteous cause, and never underestimate anyone. So next is auspicious birth of Prahlad. While Hiranyakashipu was away, Lord Indra, with the demigods, attacked the demons. Indra, he wanted to make sure that Kayadu, who is the wife of Hiranyakashipu, didn't get. He wanted to kill the baby inside of Kayadu because he thought that the baby that was going to come and become the future ruler was going to be demoniac as Hiranyakashipu. So he was dragging Kayadu, but at that time Narad Muni he came and told that Kayadu had a great devotee inside her womb. So when Indra heard this, he and all the demigods started circumambulating Kayadu. So when they all left, Narad Muni took Kayadu to his hermitage, and he would tell stories of Vishnu to Kayadu. And all these stories were heard by Prahlad Maharaj, who was still in the womb of his mother. Even after coming out of his mother's womb, he would remember all these instructions because Narad Muni's mercy was always there with Prahlad Maharaj. And Narad Muni, Kayadu gave birth to Prahlad in Narad Muni's ashram. Childhood of Prahlad. Prahlad Maharaj was so beautiful, and he was very obedient and respectful, and he had all the good qualities of a pure devotee. When he was a child, he did not play with his friends, and he would always be happy to talk about the glories of the Lord. When all his friends were playing, he used to meditate about Lord Vishnu. He spoke very less and to the point. Sometimes he was completely absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord's pastimes that he would enact the pastimes. Prahlad Maharaj's school days. Hiranyakashipu's spiritual master Shukracharya had two sons named Shanda and Amaraka, to whom Prahlad was sent for education. So he got taught by these teachers on what Hiranyakashipu wanted him to know. Although Shanda and Amaraka, they tried to teach Prahlad Maharaj all the materialistic activities, Prahlad Maharaj did not care for any of them and only concentrated to be like a devotee. So every day when the teachers used to take a break and go out of the classroom, Prahlad would talk to his friends on how they have to take Krishna consciousness to get liberated. He said that to start taking up the process, you have to immediately do it because because they would never get out of material entanglement. He also said that they have to start now, and he gave the calculation of 100 years, which is the maximum lifespan of a human life. So based on that, he said the person who cannot control his senses, half the year he sleeps. So 50 years is gone in sleeping. And then when he's a child, he passes 10 years. So 60 years is also gone. In a boyhood, they will spend another 10 years in playing. So 70 years is gone in total. And in old age, when you cannot do anything, 20 years is wasted. So 90 years is gone. And in the remaining 10 years, the people are attached to family life, so the whole life is wasted. So he advised them that everybody should be trained to control their senses starting from childhood. Conversation between Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj. One day Hiranyakashipu, he called Prahlad Maharaj and made him sit on his lap. With affectionately, he asked Prahlad Maharaj what was the best thing he learned in school today. So Prahlad Maharaj, he he said that um, he learned that how to respect the Lord, and whoever thinks that this is mine and that is yours and that belongs to my enemy, they should give up householder life and go to the forest to worship the Lord. So Hiranyakashipu thought his son Prahlad Maharaj was influenced by somebody in school. So he called the teacher Shandana Maraka and told that he asked them to make sure that Prahlad Maharaj does not become a devotee. So the teachers, they threatened Prahlad Maharaj in various ways and taught him at their best. And after several days again, Hiranyakashipu called Prahlad Maharaj and asked him what was the best thing he learned at school. So Prahlad Maharaj replied, there are 9 processes of bhakti, which hearing, chanting and remembering, serving, offering worship, becoming his servant, offering prayers, becoming his friend, and ultimately surrendering everything to the Lord. So one has to understand these 9 methods to acquire complete and perfect knowledge. When Hiranyakashipu heard that this is what his son is saying, he became very angry and pushed Prahlad towards the ground and asked Shanda and Amaraka if they taught him all these things. Shanda and Amaraka, they got so scared that they said they did not know where Prahlad learned these things. And Hiranyakashipu, he decided that Prahlad must die, because if he was not killed, he would bring destruction to the family. So so he told his servants to take Prahlad and try to kill him. What you have to take home from this is learn to be tolerant, build up listening capabilities more than speaking capabilities, always work under the guidance of a mature and bona fide teacher, always look out for blessings from spiritualists. So next is various methods used to kill Prahlad. The servants of Hiranyakashipu, they took Prahlad and started beating him and hurting him with their tridents. But Prahlad Maharaj, he just sat silently and started glorifying Lord Vishnu. So he didn't get hurt. And when the servants, they failed to kill Prahlad Maharaj, then Hiranyakashipu, he began to think of other ways to kill him. Prahlad Maharaj, he was thrown under the feet of a big elephant, which could crush anything, and then that also didn't work. So they threw him among huge, deadly, poisonous snakes, but that also didn't work. So they also tried pushing him off the top of a hill, giving him poison to drink, starving him, and exposing him to severe cold winds and water, throwing heavy stones and trying to crush him. But Prahlad Maharaj, he wasn't harmed in any way, because he was sinless, and he always used to glorify the Lord. So then Hiranyakashipu was getting very angry. So he called his sister Holika and asked her to sit in fire with Prahlad Maharaj. Holika, she had a special boon that when she touched fire or came in contact with fire, she wouldn't burn and nothing would happen to her. So she sat in fire with Prahlad Maharaj. But since Prahlad Maharaj was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu and he kept thinking of Lord Vishnu, instead of Prahlad Maharaj burning, Holika burned and Prahlad Maharaj was safe. Next is appearance of the conversation between Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj. So the angry Hiranyakashipu, with all his attempts, he was trying to kill Prahlad Maharaj, but he failed. So he asked Prahlad, where Narayana could be found. So Prahlad replied that the Lord was everywhere and he could be found in each and every place. Hiranyakashipu said that if so Hiranyakashipu said that if your Lord is everywhere, then if he is controlling everyone, where is he? So Hiranyakashipu showed different places, and he asked if the Lord was present in this and that, and like he showed different objects. And finally, he's asked, Hiranyak is Narsingadev is um, the Lord present in the pillar? Also, he showed a pillar and he asked if the Lord was present in it. And Prahlad Maharaj said yes, because he said that the Lord was present everywhere. So he said the Lord was also present in the pillar. So next is appearance of Lord Narsingadev. Hiranyakashipu, he took, upon, like, after hearing that Prahlad Maharaj said that the Lord was also in the pillar, he took up his sword and said that he is going to kill Prahlad Maharaj if the Lord was not present in that pillar. So he was very angry, and he struck the pillar with his fist. And from that pillar, um, there came a great sound that filled the whole universe. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, had taken a form that was never seen before. It was a form of a half lion and half man. So the Lord was very fearsome because his angry eyes, which that resembled molten gold, and his shiny mane, which was expanded, looked very scary when you saw the whole face. So his ears were motionless, and his nostrils and gaping mouth appeared like caves of a mountain, and his arms resembled soldiers and spread in all directions as he killed the demons. So next is the killing of demon Hiranyakashipu. At this point, Hiranyakashipu, he realized that the Lord Vishnu had made this plan to kill him. But with his ego that nobody can defeat him, he took up his club and started to attack the Lord. He fought for a little while and rested in between, and he took breaks in between fights. So after some time, the Lord, when they started fighting again, he captured Hiranyakashipu, just like a snake captures a mouse. So Hiranyakashipu, he tried to escape, but the Lord placed him on his lap, and supported by his thighs, he held him very tightly. And he ripped open his stomach and took out his intestines and placed them on his neck like garlands. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead also took out Hiranyakashipu's heart and threw him aside. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead killed Hiranyakashipu. And then after he killed Hiranyakashipu, all the soldiers started attacking, and so he fought all the soldiers and killed them with his nails. Hiranyakashipu's death wish and and Brahma's boon were met. All the conditions were met because Hiranyakashipu, he killed um, Narsingadev killed Hiranyakashipu with his nails instead of any weapon, and he killed him at the doorstep, which is neither inside or outside, and he killed him when it was twilight, which is neither morning or night. So all the conditions that Brahma gave to Hiranyakashipu was met. So some Jayadev Goswami offers prayers to Narsimhadev as Tava Kara Kamala Varenakam Adbhuta Shingam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Vrinda Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare. So after killing Hiranyakashipu, Narsingadev was very angry, and he was sitting on the throne of the demons, which meant he was like behaving like the king. So the wives of the demigods showered flowers on Narsimhadev because he won the battle. And the aeroplanes of the demigods who were seeing the fight seeing this pastime, had covered the sky. And the demigods, they began playing drums, kettle drums, and the angels began to dance, and the Gandharvas, they sang sweetly. And also the inhabitants of different planets offered their prayers separately to Lord Narasimhadev. Even after killing Hiranyakashipu, the Lord continued to be very angry that none of the demigods could pacify him. Even Mother Lakshmi, she could not dare to come in front of Lord Narasimhadev because she was very angry. So Lord Brahma asked Prahlad Maharaj to pacify the Lord. So what you have to take home from this is, as long as you have faith in the Lord, you are always protected. Don't depend on your intelligence and power. Everything fades off. Ego is the root cause of all miseries, and Bhakti Yoga is the only way to achieve the Lord. So next is coronation of Prahlad Maharaj. When Lord Narasimhadev was pacified by Prahlad Maharaj, Narasimhadev wanted to give Prahlad Maharaj some benedictions. So he asked Prahlad Maharaj what he wants. But Prahlad Maharaj, he said that Prahlad Maharaj, thinking that getting benedictions from Lord Narasimhadev would be like obstacles in his spiritual progress, he didn't ask for anything. Instead, he surrendered at the Lord's feet and said, if anyone engages in the devotional service of the Lord and then prays for personal sense gratification, he cannot be called a pure devotee or even a devotee. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead was very pleased with what Prahlad Maharaj had said, and gave him the benediction that he would be perfectly happy in this world, and in this life, and in the next life he would come back to Vaikuntha. So Prahlad Maharaj, he accepted the benediction that the Lord had given him, and he asked the Lord if he could deliver his father. And the Lord Narasimhadev assured him that his father would get liberated, but not only his father, but the forefathers for 21 generations will also get liberated, because Prahlad Maharaj was a devotee. After Hiranyakashipu's death, Prahlad Maharaj was coronated as king, and he preached bhakti everywhere, and he made everyone become Krishna consciousness, and his kingdom became like the spiritual world, the place of perfection beyond all anxieties. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Brinda. So it's a wonderful presentation. Ramana Prabhu, are you there?
Yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Brinda, for a wonderful presentation. Anyone has any questions? Anyone would like to ask Brinda anything? Would you like to test her by asking some questions? Everyone understood everything. That was a very nice presentation. I'm glad you all got to learn about Narasimhadev and Prahlad Maharaj from Brinda today. Similarly, 2 weeks from now, we're going to have another presentation by Kritika.
Ramana Prabhu, just a second, because
Okay.
I had everyone muted, so let me unmute them.
Prabhuji was muted.
So whoever wants to ask question, please unmute yourself.
Raise your hand or unmute yourself. Anyone has anything to ask? Anyone who wants to share anything? Anyone wants to share what you learned? Anyone wants to share? No? It's crystal clear?
Me.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I liked how Akka presented her story.
You like how she presented? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Papa is wearing my chappal.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Brinda.
Okay. Kritika is asking a question.
No, not a question. You presented very nicely the presentation, and your PPT was also amazing. I liked it.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Brinda.
Hare Krishna.
So I really like the way you added those take homes, like you need to be Krishna conscious, all ego is the cause to miseries and everything. That was really nice, and you did a really good job.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you for all that feedback. All this will go on YouTube, so you can always see it in the future again.
Hara, auntie is also there.
Yeah.
Lata auntie. Okay. Can you unmute? You're on mute, Lata. Lata, you're on mute.
Maybe you unmute her.
Unmuted.
Yeah, you can talk.
Huh.
Yes, go ahead.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we can
Hello.
hear. We can hear. Go ahead.
Huh. It was a nice presentation, Brinda. It was very nice. My two daughters were listening to you.
Okay. Yeah, it was really good. I really admired your story. It was awesome. Seriously.
Thank you.
Another small girl, she has gone out. She was listening to you. It was very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank
Hare
you
Krishna.
so much, dear Brinda. Thank you very much, Ramana. So nice to see you in this video. You are doing a great job.
Hare
And our
Krishna.
Damodar, my grandson, is doing wonderful, fantastic job.
Hare
And
Krishna.
all my grandchildren are doing really great. I'm so proud of this moment.
Hare Krishna.
Nice to be part of this. Keep going and do all the wonderful things. Okay, baby, Damodar, grandma is watching you. Take it easy. Good
All
luck.
right. Okay, so
Hare Krishna, Brinda. Excellent job. We are so proud of you that you narrated the story of Prahlad.
Able to hear Ranjit.
Very nicely.
Mathaji,
Actually, oh, you're not able to hear me?
you properly.
she's saying she's very proud of you that you
I'm-
presented so nicely.
Yeah, and I'm saying that Keshav was telling me in the middle of the story that, Mummy, I really like the presentation and all the pictures which Brinda Didi put on the slideshow. So good job, well done. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Mathaji.
Very nice, Brinda.
Thank you, Mathaji.
Okay. Shall we wrap up then, Mukta Sangha Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. So
Okay. So
we'll just let them know for the next session.
yeah, Next session, we'll send out flyer. It's going to be Kritika on October 17th. So we'll send you a flyer.
Kritika is here on
We're
the
eagerly
session.
waiting. We're eagerly
She'll be
waiting
giving
for
next
Kritika
session
to speak.
on October 17th, right?
17th. Yeah. 2 weeks from now.
Great. All the best, Kritika.
We look forward.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Very nice. So thank you everyone for joining this session, and hopefully you all join next session also. So we have every fortnight there is a session by kids. So please join and encourage them. This is my humble request. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.